Shalom Aleichem. I bet you're wondering what I just said. Well, it's an old Hebrew greeting. Some people might be familiar with the idea of what shalom is. But Shalom Aleichem means peace unto you. And I think today, after what many Americans are dealing with from the election, we need some peace. And I wanted to offer that to those of you who will be watching this. I want to encourage you. I apologize, I normally come on around 7, but I wasn't able to do so because I was helping somebody in need and it wasn't possible for me to go live. So I just got to thinking, what could I share? What can you say to people out there, that are, dealing with the same stuff I'm dealing with all across America and around the world. People are really looking at our country right now, and apparently we're going to be in this mess for a while. I know personally, I felt really dismayed in the beginning. I wanted to see something clear and concise. I didn't want to see our hey Cammy, glad to see you joining. Shout out. But no, it's okay, because I at first, like I was saying, I really wanted to see something clear, but it didn't go down that way. And I think I was frustrated, this year in 2020. It has been like, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, you have COVID and all the consequences that have come with it. The wildfires that's been going on, just natural disasters and the hurricanes. And now we're sitting here and we're staring down voter fraud or the lack thereof. And it would have been nice if something could just go well. A lot of people out there are struggling financially, losing jobs. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of no shalom, if you will. Hey, Summer. And yeah, I mean, what more? I think there's one guy, he has a t-shirt he's trying to sell on his YouTube page that says he survived 2020, and he's like, it may be a bit presumptuous, but I thought I'd go ahead and put these on sale. And I'm like, yeah, the way things are going, it probably is presumptuous. But it's been a crazy year. And I really had to kind of reassess, like, what does this mean for us? What does this mean for our country? And I don't think anybody's looking forward to what's coming. But at the same time, I think that this may actually be good for us. If there's voter fraud, it needs to be found out. Doesn't matter who it's against. If we need fair and free elections out there, right? Who wants to live with that in the back of their mind, that you don't know if your vote's being counted? I mean, it may be, against Donald Trump this time around, but next time, who's to say it's not against, a Democratic or the other side, the other party? You gotta answer that question. And I think if there is fraud, this gives a chance for it to be exposed. And really, God's got this. Christians, our hope is not in a president. It's not in our government. It's in our God. It helps when we have righteous people in office. And I think that we should vote righteousness every time. But even in dark times, all that means is our light shines brighter. It's this is not our home. We have an eternal home with God, and we're going to come back in victory with Him, and the whole earth's going to belong to us anyway, so don't sweat this. Just trust in the Lord. And that's kind of why my thought was, what do people need right now? What did I need? I needed peace. But with that said, the kind of peace I need that comes from God is not like the world gives. And that's what I want us to have. It's shalom. And I have my little book of mysteries here. I like to read out of it sometimes. And I wanted to read one of the devotions in here because it has to do with peace, or shalom in Hebrew. And I think it will help capture the idea of what God's peace is and what he wants for us, so that we don't lose our peace when we're, whether we're facing uncertain times, political upheaval, fraudulent voting or not, or natural disasters, or war, or famine, or pestilence, or the birth pains that the Bible talks about in Matthew 24 and Luke 21, and however you see the thing shaken down, it's not going to be peaceful. So we got to find our peace somewhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this to you guys. It says, it was on the first day of the week, morning. All the students were gathered together in the open air tent, waiting for the teacher to speak. Peace be to you, he said. That is what Messiah said to his disciples when he greeted them. As it is written. As they said these things, Yeshua, Jesus, himself stood in the midst of them and said to them, Peace be to you. It's the only time recorded of his saying those words. It was the first thing he spoke when he appeared to them after the resurrection. He could have said anything, but he chose to say, Peace be to you. In fact, he said it twice in the same encounter. There must be something about those words. Why do you think he said it? And that it's only recorded after the resurrection, not before. The students were silent. When Isaiah prophesied of Messiah's death, he wrote this. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The punishment for our peace was upon him. Peace only comes after the atonement is made. So it was only after Messiah died on the cross and rose that peace could be given. But Isaiah's prophecy doesn't say our peace. It says our shalom. And when Messiah spoke the blessing to his disciples, he didn't say peace either. He said, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom be upon you. But if shalom means peace, said one of the students, what's the difference? The difference is everything, he said, for shalom means much more than peace. Shalom means safety, rest, prosperity, wholeness, welfare, completion, fullness, soundness, even well-being. So what blessing did Messiah speak to his disciples? It can be taken this way. May you be blessed with safety, with rest, with prosperity, with wholeness, with completion, with fullness, with soundness, with well-being, and with peace. All that in one blessing? Asked one of the students. All that in his shalom, all that in his sacrifice, all that in the blessing that Messiah gives to his disciples, and that he gives to you. Their part and your part is to learn what that exactly means and to receive all that is within it. And then there's a little mission statement with it. It says, today make it your aim to receive the shalom of Messiah, his peace, fullness, rest, completion, well-being, and wholeness. Shalom Aleichem. Isn't that a beautiful Hebrew greeting? I love it. And what's neat is when I used to teach this class, it was called Discovering the Jewish Jesus, I would always say Shalom Aleichem to the people there, and then the customary Jewish greeting back was Aleichem Shalom. So you give and you give, or you get and you give peace. And it really gives a new depth to the idea of what Jesus meant when he said, my peace I leave with you, not as the world gives do I give. And because it's not like the world's peace. It means so much more. And as the world shakes, when we go into uncertain times, when our hopes are dashed, when the guy we wanted in office didn't make it, or, vice versa, people need hope. They need love. They need peace. They need understanding. And when the world around you is shaking and corrupt, where do you look? What do? You turn to Jesus. And he's the author and finisher of our faith. He's our hope. And in him, we live and move and have our being. And if we can keep our peace, the shalom that God gives us, then we can also offer that shalom and that peace to others who desperately need it. So I just thought that I would share that with you guys. And, I'm going to be praying. I'm praying for, our country. We need the Lord. That is, if there's one thing I can say, it don't matter what side of the aisle you're on, this country needs the Lord. Just being in this situation alone, it proves that point. We need the Lord here. We need help. We need to know what unifies us as a country. There's a lot of players out there that are trying to divide this nation. They're trying to hurt us. And apart from the Lord, we're not going to make it. But with him, all things are possible. And I don't believe he's done with this country. I don't believe he's done with us. And the best days are ahead of us, but they may not look exactly like what we think, or they may not come about the way we think. We need to pray for those in authority over us, whoever they are. And we also need to uphold what is right and just. It makes for a society that you can count on, being safe in, when you know that you have laws that govern you, and that people are honoring them, and that they're upholding them. When you have corruption, when you have, lies, where do you go? What do you turn to? When there's bribery, or there's, just evil, you can't function well in that. No society can. When you go morally bankrupt, look at history. Nations will fall. They're not around anymore. And that's usually the telltale sign. So whether you're, Republican or Democratic or whatever side of the aisle you're on, if you love this country, you need to pray for it. We need to find our common ground again. We need peace, and we need righteousness to be exalted. And people in this world that are raised up without God, that you can't expect them to do any different. They need to hear from one of us that has the truth of God's word. One of us who is different than them. One of us who has peace, who has that shalom in us, and we can give it to them along with the truth. So I'm just going to continue praying, and I am trusting the Lord. I've turned this over to him. I trust his word. And what he says is going to happen is going to happen. He owns it all, and it's in his hands. So I love you guys, and I hope this message blesses you. Well, we're on every night at 7:00, and we have a live service on Saturday. It's just the service. It's not the praise or worship, because that gets muted out anyway, and we want to make sure you guys get a chance to actually hear it and not, sit around wondering what's going on. But if you do want to see the full message and enjoy the worship, you can go to our website, hopeofruthministries.com. Click on the link for the service, and it's live streamed on Sunday morning. So with that, I'll see you guys later. Keep on praying, trusting the Lord. If you have any issues that you would like prayer for, please reach out to us. We're here for you. And one of us will get back to you and, pray with you and lift you up and keep you in our prayers. We love you guys. Take care, and shalom.